game 2 of round 1. Carmel Roundabouts look to extend their series lead by 2. But can the Orange Cats get it back rolling? Terre Haute Orange Cats, Carmel Roundabouts, coming your way. Welcome to the traffic-inducing court here from Carmel. It is going to be a great game tonight. Carmel Roundabouts up 1 in the series. Blake Hammond is out for the rest of the season for the Orange Cats. That should hurt them. Yeah, that is definitely going to hurt Terre Haute. Let's make this starting 5 out. Trey Brown, Cooper Bach, Justin Kirby, Connor Daly, and Christian Bryan are in for the Orange Cats. And for the Roundabouts, they have Evan Harrell, Baron Walker, Max Weiss, Jordan Lomax, and Trey Shelsky. Live from Carmel. Packed house in Carmel. We are underway. Terre Haute will get the ball first. Now here's Trey Brown with it. Brown looks, now it's Kirby. Kirby getting covered by the defense. Kirby, Justin Kirby for 2. Harrell with it now. Harrell looks. Weiss there. Weiss with it. Now it's Lomax. Jordan Lomax looking. Cover. Now it's Shelsky up for 2. Trey Shelsky for 2. We are tied up at 2 early in this one. Now here's Trey Brown. Brown back to Daly. Connor Daly with it. Connor Daly will miss the 3. Walker with the rebound. This Carmel team can take it to Plainfield. Here's Harrell. Back to Walker. Now it's Lomax. Lomax to Harrell. Evan Harrell for 3. This Carmel team is a really good scoring team. Do not be shocked if they take it to Plainfield and is able to win in the second round if they are able to make it there. Here's Kirby. Justin Kirby misses the shot. Here's Shelsky. Shelsky to Harrell. Evan Harrell with it. Harrell goes up for 2. 7-2, Carmel. The Orange Cats can score and can score big, but they have a problem with going down early and not being able to recover. Here's Cooper Bach. Bach there, back to Kirby. Kirby, Justin Kirby will miss the 3. Daily rebound. Cooper Bach puts it in for 3. 2-point game. Now Lomax to Harrell. Harrell, big pass to Shelsky, who will put it in for 2. Carmel back up by 4. Now here's Trey Brown. Brown has it. Back to Bach. Cooper Bach with it. Back to Bryan. Christian Bryan with it. Pass to Brown. Trey Brown misses the 3. Shelsky rebound. Shelsky to Harrell. Here's Evan Harrell. Pass to Lomax. Now it's Weiss. Max Weiss to Walker. Baron Walker for 3. Carmel is on fire. Now here's Brown. Trey Brown with it. Getting covered by Harrell. Pass to Kirby. Justin Kirby will miss the 3. Baron Walker with the rebound. Walker to Shelsky. Shelsky looks. Bryan covering. Shelsky will miss. Rebound by Terre Haute. Bryan to Brown. Brown looks. Now it's Bryan goes up for 2. Bryan will score for the Terre Haute Orange Cats. Here's Harrell. Timeout Carmel. The Roundabouts call a timeout, but they are up big, 12-7. Welcome back to round one, game two for Carmel and Terre Haute. This game is strong. Hunter Mason is in the game for the Orange Cats. And how about this? McGrew and Scholar Haynes into the game for the Roundabouts. Here we go. Here's Weiss. Weiss gives it to Shelsky. Shelsky to Lomax. Now it's Weiss. Max Weiss to Lomax. Lomax to McGrew. Kai McGrew for three. Norris gives it to Bach. Cooper Bach with it. Back to Hunter Mason. Mason to Norris. It's Jaden Norris with it. Norris. Back to Bach. Now pass to Mason. Here's Hunter Mason. Now it's Kirby. Misses the three. McGrew with the rebound. Kai McGrew with the slam. Carmel up by 10. Here's Hunter Mason. Mason has it. Back to Daly. Connor Daly for three. This Carmel team is really, really good. It's going to take a lot for the Orange Cats to beat this team. Now here's Lomax. Lomax has it. Jordan Lomax inside the paint for two. They can beat you outside the paint. They can beat you inside the paint. For two, looks like it is Connor Daly. Carmel can beat you anywhere on the court. McGrew back to Lomax. Lomax with it. Lomax hangs on. Back to Shelsky. Shelsky for two. Now here's Hunter Mason. Mason looks. Now it's Norris. Back to Mason. Here's Bach. Cooper Bach with it. Cooper Bach misses the three. Lomax with the rebound. Here's Lomax. Back to Haynes. Scholar Haynes with the ball. Haynes holds it. Haynes turns. Looks to score. Can't. Rebound Shelsky. Lomax keeps it himself. He will score. And that will end the first quarter. It's all Carmel in game number two. The Roundabouts dominating in this one. Quarter one is complete. Roundabouts up 23-12. Now we welcome you back here to Carmel. Really good game. Here's Volts. Quentin Volts has the ball. 23-12. It's all Carmel in this one. Wilkerson to Haynes. Scholar Haynes can't put it in. Bryan with the rebound. Almost with the rebound was Carmel. Chase Millington will miss the three. Norris rebound. Layup by Jaden Norris. Wilkerson gives it to Volts. Quentin Volts now has the ball. Covered big time by the defense. Walker is out there once again. Quentin Volts looks. Back to Ellis. Eli Ellis. It's Eli Ellis with the slam. Here's Hunter Mason. Mason back to Bryan. Christian Bryan takes a look. Bounces back. Misses. Wilkerson with the rebound. Wilkerson back to Walker. Here's Walker. Baron Walker looks. Back to Haynes. Scholar Haynes misses. Similar with the rebound. Now it's Hunter Mason. Ellis on the defense. Hunter Mason passes Similar. Here's Austin Similar back to Hunter Mason. Hunter Mason goes up. Misses the three. It's Wilkerson rebound. Jacob Wilkerson now. Back to Walker. Walker, here's Baron Walker back to Volts. Twin volts to Ellis. Eli Ellis misses the two. Similar. Back to Mason. Here's Hunter Mason. He looks covered by Haynes. Here's Mason. Back to Brian. Brian blocked by Wilkerson. Wilkerson to Walker. Walker to Ellis. Eli Ellis with a slam. Terre Haute stands no match for Carmel. I mean, this Terre Haute team anyway. The other Terre Haute team will probably destroy Carmel. 27-14. The Roundabouts lead it 27-14. Timeout Terre Haute. And we welcome you back to Carmel, the home of the Roundabouts. The Roundabouts have been playing really good today. Now, here we go. It's Daly. Back to Kirby. Kirby has it. Back to Daly. Now it's Brown. Trey Brown back to Connor Daly. Daly back to Norris. Back to Kirby. Justin Kirby for two. Hey, look at that. Terre Haute has finally scored. Lomax to Volts. Quentin Volts for two. Now here's Kirby. Kirby with it. Kirby looks. Back to Brian. Christian Brian misses the three. Lomax with the rebound. Here's Walker. Walker back to Lomax. Back to Harrell. Evan Harrell has it. Passes Shelsky. Trey Shelsky for two. Man, oh man, the Roundabouts cannot be stopped here tonight. Here's Brown. Back to Kirby, now it's Daly. Connor Daly, back to Norris. Jaden Norris misses the three. Shelsky with the rebound. Now here's Harrell. Evan Harrell with it. Harrell there to Shelsky for two. It's 33-16. Now here's Kirby. Kirby there. Now it's Brian. Christian Brian with the slam. How about Evansville beating Danville in overtime yesterday? Timeout Carmel 33-18. We welcome you back to Carmel. The Roundabouts up big in this one. Millington is into the game for the Orange Cats. How about Scholar Haynes as well? Now here's Shelsky. Back to Volts. Volts back to Harrell. Evan Harrell misses. Now it's Daly. Here's Kirby with it. Justin Kirby back to Millington. Chase Millington back to Brown. Trey Brown looks, covered by Harrell. Brown to Kirby. Justin Kirby for three. Drains a three. Now here is Evan Harrell. Harrell back to Volts. Quentin Volts with the ball. Pass to Harrell. Harrell for two. Now here's Kirby. Kirby with it. Justin Kirby looking up, misses the three. Here's Trey Shelsky with the rebound. Shelsky to Harrell. Harrell back to Lomax. Jordan Lomax will miss the three. It's Kirby with the rebound again. Kirby back to Brown. Brown looks strong, covered by Harrell. Brown holding on. Now it's Millington. Here's Chase Millington trying to go up. He does. He will score. Lomax gives it to Harrell. Harrell has steam. Evan Harrell for three will miss, but at halftime it's still all Carmel. 35-23. Once again, like I said at the beginning, Terre Haute can score quick. Going to the Nova Rain halftime show. Now, we welcome you back to the Nova Rain halftime show. We are about to take a look at the bracket, but before we do that, let's take a look at this one. Carmel has been dominating this one with Trey Shelsky at the helm. Great defense, great offense by Carmel. Take a look at the bracket. Evansville is up 2-0 on Danville. How about coming up tomorrow? The Huskies and the Railroaders take action. And then we will see Galloway and Lafayette as well. Those two games are going to be good. Now, back in this game, Trey Shelsky and Justin Kirby are your leaders of this one. But it's all Shelsky and the Roundabouts. They're leading big time. We are back from Carmel as the crowd is going wild. 35-23. Roundabouts lead it. Here is Trey Shelsky's game to this point. To start the second half, Shelsky has been fantastic, with multiple inside the paint and layups. Great job by Shelsky. Now here's Evan Harrell with it. Harrell has it. Shelsky looks. Now it's Lomax. Jordan Lomax with it. Jordan Lomax for three. Evan Harrell's out there with Baron Walker. Then it's Trey Shelsky, Jordan Lomax, and Max Weiss. For two, it's Christian Bryan. The Orange Cats for two. Trey Brown's out there with Bach and others for the Orange Cats. Here's Evan Harrell. Harrell, now it's Lomax. Jordan Lomax will miss. Bach with the rebound. Bach to Kirby. Kirby for three. 10-point game. Like I said before halftime, Terre Haute, they do have a problem with coming back, but they can score and make it close. But they have not came back and won against multiple teams. Evan Harrell for two. I'm not lying when I tell you, the Orange Cats do have talent. They can score. but they just need to play mistake-free. Justin Kirby again for 3. 9-point game by the Orange Cats, and Shelsky will miss the 2. Brian rebound. Brian to Brown. Brown has it. Here's Brown. He looks for 2. Misses. It's Weiss with the rebound. Weiss back to Lomax. Jordan Lomax misses. Shelsky rebound. Back to Walker. Baron Walker for 3. A no-look backhanded pass by Trey Shelsky to Baron Walker, and Walker buried the 3. Here's Brown. Back to Bryan. Here's Christian Bryan to Brown. He puts it in with the slam. Terre Haute is scoring here in the second half. Timeout Carmel, 10-point lead. Back live from Carmel. 43-33 in a great game here. Who is going to win this one? 10-point lead for Carmel. Now here's Weiss. Weiss has it. He's going to give it to Shelsky. Here's Trey Shelsky. Back to Harrell. Harrell to Weiss. Max Weiss has it. Back to Lomax. Lomax goes up for 2. He will make it. Lomax scores. Here's Kirby. Kirby with it. Justin Kirby will miss the 3. Harrell with the rebound. Harrell back to Walker. Here's Baron Walker. It's a foul by Jordan Lomax. It's an illegal screen. It's going to be Terre Haute basketball. Brown is out of the game. Jaden Norris is in. Haynes is in the game. Look at the 3. Justin Kirby is putting Terre Haute in his hands, on his back. Terre Haute is being led by Kirby. Here's Shelsky for 2. Shelsky for 2. The one thing about Carmel that Terre Haute does not have are players that can score automatically. Justin Kirby misses the 3. Here's Lomax. Lomax has it. Haynes looks. Jordan Lomax for 3. Drains the deep 3. Once again, the one thing Terre Haute does not have is an equal team when it comes to threes. Kirby is usually dominating. Like this, Kirby misses the 3 though. It's Shelsky with the rebound. Shelsky back to Walker. Baron Walker will miss the 3. Ryan with the rebound now. Here's Daly. Daly to Norris for 2. Jaden Norris for 2. Now here's Lomax. Have to catch our breaths. Lomax with it. Covered by Norris. Lomax to Shelsky. Shelsky to Weiss. Max Weiss for 2. Great job by Carmel. They are starting to pull away. Now here's Bach back to Kirby. Now it's Daly. Connor Daly back to Norris. Jaden Norris misses. Now it's 2 by Cooper Bach. Bach puts it in for 2. Shelsky to Lomax. Here's Jordan Lomax. He has it. He looks. Look at Norris on defense. Pass back to Walker. Baron Walker for 3. Baron Walker has been outstanding tonight as well. Here's Cooper Bach. Covered by Haynes. Now it's Kirby. Now back to Bach. Now it's Bryant. Christian Bryant has it. Covered by Shelsky. Bryant. Vice will miss. Here's Norris. Norris with it. Jaden Norris for 2. Here's Haynes. Scholar Haynes. Haynes will miss. 55-44. Now we welcome you back here to Carmel. Daly back to Brown. Brown to Simler. Here's Austin Simler back to Daly. Connor Daly back to Millington. Chase Millington for 3. Harrell with it. Here's Evan Harrell. Wilkerson back to Haynes. Scholar Haynes will miss the 2. Daly with it. Now it's Norris. Norris back to Daly. Now it's Jaden Norris for 2 again. Here comes Terre Haute. The Orange Cats are fighting back. They're clawing their way back. Now it's Scholar Haynes. Haynes back to Harrell. Evan Harrell misses the 3. Similar rebound. Now it's Daly. Daly looks, spins. Connor Daly for 2. 4-point game. Coming back is one task. But getting the lead is another animal of its own for the Orange Cats. Lomax with the slam. Here's Brown. Brown with it. Harrell covering. Now it's Jaden Norris for 3. Here comes the Orange Cats. 3-point game. Now it's Lomax again for 2. The defense is giving up the easy passes by Carmel to Lomax. Here's Brown with it. Brown hangs on to it. Brown looks. Now it's Norris. Back to Norris. Jaden Norris will miss. It's Harrell with the rebound. Bolts with it. Back to Haynes. Scholar Haynes. Haynes has it back to Lomax. Now it's Harrell. Evan Harrell for 2. Timeout, Orange Cats. We welcome you back now to Carmel. Carmel with it. Carmel has a ball. 61-50. No, Carmel does not have the ball, but it's Terre Haute that has the ball. But they have the lead by 7. 61-54. Here's Kirby. Looking back to Brian. Brian misses. It's Shelsky with the rebound. Shelsky back to Harold. Harold back to Walker. Now it's Harold. Evan Harrell. Miss. Fake three. Now it's Walker. Baron Walker. Misses. Rebound by Connor Daly. Now here's Kirby. Kirby has it. Going up. Back to Bach. Now it's Brown. Back to Daly. Connor Daly has it. Connor Daly misses. Now it's Evan Walker. Walker back to Harrell. Here's Harrell. Walker. Shelsky now with it. Shelsky back to Harrell. Evan Harrell going up. He will put it in for two. Harrell has 13 points. 9-point game in Carmel. Brown going up for two. Once again, Terre Haute, they can score. They can claw back. But Carmel is just pulling back away whenever Terre Haute gets close. It was once a 4-point game. Harrell for three. 10-point game again. There's 16 points tonight. Here's Cooper Bach. Bach with it. Covered by Walker. Bach goes up. Misses it to Walker with the rebound. Walker back to Lomax. Now here's Lomax back to Harrell. Evan Harrell looks up. Misses the three. It's Daly with the rebound. Now it's Cooper Bach. Bach to Brown. Brown. Daly. Trey Brown for three. Shelsky to Walker. Now here's Harrell. Evan Harrell for two. Timeout Terre Haute. 1:16 left to play in game two. And we welcome you back here to Carmel. 68-59 is the score right now. Carmel is strong. Remember, the next two games of the series will be in Terre Haute. Here's Kirby giving it to Brown. Here's Brown with it. Pass to Bryant. Christian Bryant has it now. Here's Bryant. Back to Brown. It's Trey Brown. Trey Brown goes up for three. They are clawing their way back. They can fight back. But Carmel, though, is able to hang on. And it's going to be out of bounds. Terre Haute ball. 49.3 left in the game. Carmel has struggled in the second half, giving up so many points to Terre Haute. Here's Brown. Back to Bryant. Bryant back to Brown. Now it's Kirby. Justin Kirby misses Bryant for two. Once again, it's a 4-point game in Carmel. Shelsky. Now it's Walker. Fouled by Bach. Once again, folks, Terre Haute, they claw back anytime they are down, but they have a problem getting the lead. Walker to Shelsky, back to Harrell. Shelsky to Mice with the slam. Timeout Terre Haute, and that will pretty much do it for the game tonight. Carmel is up by 6, but it's all Roundabouts. Roundabouts very strong tonight. 6-point game. Now, here we go. Here we go. Here is Daly. Daly has it. Back to Bach. Back to Brown. Now it's Cooper Bach with it. Bach looks. Covered by Walker. Now it's Brown. Trey Brown for three. They can't call a timeout. Here's Lomax. Lomax looks back to Harrell. Harrell gets fouled.
First personal foul, second team foul.
Now at the line for 2 is Evan Harrell for the Roundabouts. Harrell's first free throw is made. Evan Harrell's second free throw is made. 72-67. Brown has it once again. Here's Brown back to Kirby. Kirby misses the 3. Shelsky back to Lomax. Lomax gets fouled by Bryan. Jordan Lomax first free throw is made. Well, the game is pretty much over for the Roundabouts. Carmel up 74-67. Here's Trey Brown with it. Brown from the logo for 3. Trey Brown from the logo makes a 3, but it's too little, too late. Carmel goes up 2-0 in the series. Carmel dominates this one, although Terre Haute fought their way back. 74-70 is the final score. Terre Haute will be hosting the next 2 games. Jordan Lomax is your player of the game. I really thought it would be Shelsky, but no, it is Jordan Lomax.